Hello and welcome to Graziella TV. I'm your host, Graziella Barada. I'm so excited to bring to you the second episode of the Fit Foodie series, Mexican Fiesta Days. In this special episode, we're going to explore some figure-friendly but delicious meals to get you started on your bikini body just in time for spring. I'm keeping the recipe simple so that you can use the same ingredients for the whole day and make 3 delicious guilt-free meals. Let's get started! To make a delicious and satisfying healthy meal, it's really important to have a balanced ratio of protein, good carbohydrates, and good fats, as well as some robust flavors that come from herbs and spices. I always talk about herbs and spices being really important because they really are what make a dish interesting and bring it to life. Today, I'm making a Mexican fiesta. For breakfast, we have huevos rancheros. For lunch, arroz con habichuelas. And for dinner, chili lime grilled chicken with refried beans and avocado salad. Arriba! With a little planning and strategy, you can make cooking your meals an effortless process. So let's start with breakfast. What you want to do is make your salsa the night before so that the flavors have time to mingle and get to know each other. So in the salsa, we're going to put some fresh tomatoes. We've got the juice of 1 lime, and we're going to add some fresh cilantro, which I have here. So you really want to go for the fresh herbs because the flavors are really unparalleled to the dry. They're so much more aromatic and robust, and you really want that for a nice fresh salsa. And you can do this in the morning if you like, but I prefer to do it the night before, again, because the flavors of everything really get a chance to marinate with each other and have a bolder flavor. So you can have this ready for your huevos rancheros in the morning. I put my 3 chopped tomatoes in a little storage container so that I can put it in the fridge after I'm done, and I'm squeezing
the juice of 1 lime
in the container. And we're going to put some chopped up fresh cilantro. Now, I think cilantro is one of those herbs that you really have to acquire a taste for. If you love Mexican food, then you already love it. If not, experiment with a little bit of it and see how you like it. So you want to get rid of these thicker stems because they're not as tender. So we want to just kind of separate these thicker stems from the leaves, and you can leave the thinner stems, those are fine. It's just these really large ones that are not so tender and too crunchy. Okay, I'm going to chop this up. Just give it a nice rough chop. And you're going to add that into your container. Next, I'm going to grab the clove, 1 little garlic clove. If you like your food really garlicky, feel free to add a little bit more than that. But I think 1 garlic clove is just enough for a salsa of 3 tomatoes. You want to give this a fine little chop. And I prefer the fresh garlic over the powdered because sometimes I think the powdered you don't have so much control over and you really can't figure out how garlicky you're making things. And of course, fresh is always better than dried. So we're going to add the garlic in there. And then we're going to add about 1/4 of a yellow onion. So now we're going to add our chopped onions to the salsa. Yellow onion is my favorite. I really like it because it has a nice sweet flavor and I feel like it goes with everything. Kind of like a little black stripe. Okay, so your spices are your BFFs. We've got some black pepper, a little bit of black pepper in there. And I really don't do too much measuring because, I really just see what I feel like that day, okay? So here I'm adding some cayenne pepper, and that's pretty spicy, so if you don't like super spicy, hold off on the cayenne pepper. Next, I'm putting a little bit of coriander. Ground coriander is great and gives Mexican food a really nice aromatic flavor. Next, I'm going to add cumin. It's a very strong spice here, so you want to add just a little bit. And last but not least, some freshly ground sea salt. It's very salty, so you want to be careful not to oversalt. Next, I'm going to add some agave nectar, about a teaspoon, for a little bit of sweetness. And you're just going to mix this all up and put it in the fridge. Now I'm going to heat up the stove and get my skillet ready to cook the egg on. I'm going to add just a little drizzle of olive oil. And spread that around. So you can cook the egg in any way that you like. I like mine fried. And I like to smash the yolk. I don't know about you, I smash my yolk. Now I'm going to smash my yolk. And I like my egg cooked medium. Let's see, just about ready for a flip. And if you make the salsa the night before, this breakfast really just takes about 5 minutes because eggs cook instantly. And you don't need to season your egg because all of the seasoning is already in the salsa. Great, my egg is done. I'm going to plate it. And now we're going to add a corn tortilla. We're just going to warm it up a bit. Lower the fire. Because really it just needs to be warm. If you warm it up too much, it's going to get crispy and we don't want to do that. We want to keep it nice and soft so that we can fold it up. And that's about enough on one side. Other side. And take the heat off. It's ready to go. Now we're going to bring this little ensemble to the table. And I'm going to slice up some Colby cheese. I really like Colby cheese because it's very flavorful, but it's not too sharp. I'm going to put that right on the egg to start melting. Great, now I'm going to the fridge to get the salsa. This is nice and flavorful by now. Okay, now we're going to put the egg on top of the tortilla. Top it with a little bit of fresh salsa that you made the night before or even that morning. And all of the flavor is right in here. This is delicious. It's like a breakfast taco. I love tacos. Lastly, I'm going to put a little sliver of avocado. If you like avocado, put it in. If not, leave it out. But how do you have Mexican food without avocado? I'm not sure. So I'm just putting in a little sliver and I'm saving the rest for dinner. Make sure you really wrap up the avocado so that it doesn't get brown. Great, and there you have it, huevos rancheros. And now it's time for lunch. I'm going to bring over to the stove some chopped up onions, garlic, and tomatoes. Here I've got some olive oil heating in a shallow pan. First, I'm going to saute the onions. Put this aside. Just let them saute for about a minute, and then we're going to add the garlic. I'd like to saute them separately, first of all because onions take a lot longer to saute, and the garlic burns very easily. So I really want the flavor to come out of the onions, and then we'll put the garlic. Now we'll add the garlic. Here I've got about 5 to 6 cloves of garlic. And let me tell you, it's never too much garlic. It gives Mexican food a lot of flavor, and you really don't need much when you have this much garlic. This is a really simple dish. Let that saute for about another minute, and then we'll add the tomatoes. Now it's time for the tomatoes. We'll just let that saute for about a minute. Now over here, I've got steaming in my awesome rice cooker, brown rice with a little bit of olive oil, salt, pepper, and a dash of coriander. Next, we're gonna mix that with some fresh cilantro for a really nice fresh flavor. Now we're ready to add 2 cans of black beans. I leave the liquid in there because it really helps them to cook. It's a thicker consistency than water, so I just use it all. Now you can make half this portion if you like, or you can make the whole portion, and it serves about 6 people. Now we're going to add some spices to the beans. Adding cumin. I'm adding about a tablespoonful. Next, some coriander. This is about a teaspoon. Some cayenne pepper, a dash or 2. Now if you like your beans mild or medium, you might want to leave it at that, but I like a little spicy, so I'm going to add some red pepper flakes for a little extra fire. I'm going to lower this heat a bit to medium. And we are going to add some black pepper. We want to have some different levels of pepper in there. And last but not least, some freshly ground sea salt, my favorite. Has a lot more flavor and a lot less sodium. Great, we're going to let this simmer for about 20 minutes. And we're done. And here you have it, arroz con habichuelas. Your brown rice with fresh cilantro, black beans, and a slice of avocado. Enjoy! Okay, so now in a storage container, I have some chopped up onions, half an onion, a bunch of cilantro, and the juice of 1 lime. We're going to prepare a marinade for the chicken. So here, I've got some cumin again, and if you notice, these are all the same spices. Keeping it really, really simple. Black pepper. A couple of shakes of cayenne pepper. We've got 1, 2 shakes of red pepper flakes, some coriander, and sea salt. These are all the same spices that we used for the salsa. We're going to mix that up and add about 1.5 tablespoons of agave nectar. Agave or agave nectar is a very low glycemic index sweetener. So it still has some calories, but it's very low in the glycemic index. It's very sweet, kind of like honey, and mild. And it's used in Mexican cooking and in margaritas. Okay, there's your marinade for the chicken. I'm going to put the chicken in and let it sit for a little while. It's really easy to just do it the night before or the morning of, so that for dinner it's all ready to go. Now we're back at the stove with the beans from lunchtime. So we've made enough so that we can have a portion for dinner, and they're getting refried for dinner. So really, they're just cooking down until they become really, really soft. And that really is the difference between the beans from lunch and for dinner. Your portion is going to be a little bit smaller for dinner because we've got a nice big salad and some grilled chili lime chicken coming up. Great. Just make sure you keep stirring and watch that so that it doesn't burn. Now I'm going to come over here and put my chicken on the grill. I like to use a grill that has a little grate because it gives it that nice outdoor flavor. Now I've coated the pan with some canola oil and we're ready for a chili lime grilled chicken. You're going to have some leftover marinade, so you want to just pour that over the top of the chicken. And the onions are going to caramelize and give it a really nice sweet flavor too. While the chicken is grilling, we're going to come back here and get the salad ready. I've already chopped up some romaine lettuce and half of an avocado. And look what comes back, your salsa. So we're going to top the salad with this awesome salsa that you've had ready in your fridge. And then we're going to add just a little drizzle of olive oil. The salsa doesn't have any oil, so you will need just a little bit of that. Give it a little toss, add your chicken, and you're good to go. Okay, now our chicken is done, so I'm going to grab the chicken and put it on top of the salad. I've cut the chicken up into little slices. I like it that way because it's a little easier to eat. So I'm going to give myself 2 strips of chicken, and we're going to plate our refried beans. So now you can see the consistency has really changed. And here you have your dinner. Your refried beans, chili lime grilled chicken over avocado and salsa salad. Enjoy! Now that you've got 3 healthy meals in the bag, get ready to work on your fitness. Coming up next week, a special 3-part fitness series to get you ready for bikini season. I hope you've enjoyed this Mexican Fit Foodie episode on Graziella TV, and I'll see you here next week for your bikini plan. Thanks for watching Graziella TV. Until next time, join my network at GRAZIELLATV.com. See you there! GRAZIELLATV.com